Okay, so welcome to Coffee with a Jedi. Though it's evening time, so I'm not going with coffee. I'm going with juice. I don't know if that's relevant or matters, but it is what it is. I'm sure Katie has a beverage of some sort as well. I doubt it's coffee also. So there we go. And hopefully you guys, whoever's watching, hi Mom, that you guys got a beverage with you as well. So my guest today is Kai-An Tatok from California Jedi. And you can go ahead and introduce yourself. Katie, handle business. Tell the viewers something about you.
So I'm Katie, or Kai-An Tatok is the name that I was originally known as in the Jedi community, and I run California Jedi. That's mostly it. Yeah, that's about it.
That is short and boring. You give me nothing, Katie. You give me nothing.
I know. Let's see. I read more than is maybe healthy. I'm a great big nerd, but that's not exactly unique in the Jedi community.
That's true.
Yeah, no, that's about it.
Fair deal. Fair deal. Let's see. Man, I'm not. I do not have it together today at all. Because I had a question. I was just about to ask it. Yeah. Oh, wait. Oh, I thought you cut out. I was like, hey, we talked about this in this eventuality, and there it is. Awesome.
No, the cats have not tripped over my computer cord. Everything is still fine and plugged in and functional.
Sweet. Sweet deal. Okay, so the Jedi may or may not grow in size as Star Wars gets closer and as the movie gets released, and Abrams gives his view on what it means to be Luke Skywalker Jedi Master. What would you like to say? Well, how about just advice to new people coming into the community? Obviously, you run California Jedi, so you have a little experience dealing with like people kind of like poking their heads in and checking things out. But yeah, what would you offer? What would you say to kind of the newbies out there?
That's a good question. I'm really excited for the new movie, and I do hope that the new movie attracts some more people, or at least maybe pings something for some people who've been looking for a thing that maybe fits the Jedi description. So that's what happened to me when Revenge of the Sith came out. I was just like, you know what, that would be awesome. And then it was awesome. But I think the advice I would have for new people who've just found the Jedi path or are checking it out to see if it's something for them is don't be afraid to ask questions. Like find any Jedi you can, preferably people who've been around a little longer, because they're just going to have more information for you. But just ask them everything. Ask, what is it like to be a Jedi? How has your Jedi path been? There's no question too personal, or if it is too personal, they'll tell you and give you a different answer. But I mean, when you choose a path, even a philosophical one, I mean, obviously you do that in stages. I think I don't know. I was gonna say very few people like get a whiff of some philosophical path and are just like, yes, this is the thing for me. But that's basically what happened for me. So, but do your research and don't be afraid to ask around. So we don't bite.
I don't know. Speak for yourself.
Okay, well, I would disagree. You're all bark and no bite.
Do not ruin.
You're gonna be our cranky Jedi living on Dagobah.
I'm okay with that. I'm all right.
Yeah, no, it's a good life path. So eventually, maybe I'll be cranky older Jedi living on Tatooine because deserts are better than swamps. I can't deal with the humidity.
Yeah, and the bugs. The bugs are worse than swamps.
Much rather have barren, lifeless desert. Thank you very much.
That's fair. That's why my plan is like to go to Fiji or something and kind of go that
I feel like you're not allowed to be cranky wise Jedi Master if you're living on a relaxing tropical planet. Like it has to be. It's like very hero's journey, you know. There have to be obstacles to reaching this mentor stage. I like that I'm not casting us as wise hero's journey Jedi mentors, which is sort of hilarious. But still, no. Like I feel like that character is rarely found in relaxing tropical beaches, drinking a daiquiri or something. So, which is a shame, but
it might just be the way it is. It would kind of be like the last place people look, and they would be like wandering through the forest the entire time, and then I'd be on the beach with like a coconut drink in my hand. So I don't know.
Lots of little umbrellas.
Yes, the umbrellas are important, and colorful straws as well. You need those.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm definitely with that. I'm okay with that. Yeah. I'm
so we're gonna break the mold. That's the consensus here. We're gonna be.
I think so. I think so. I think it provides a unique challenge to get there, and you got to think outside the box, So.
Oh yeah, that's totally the reason. It has nothing to do with the glorious white sandy beaches.
Nothing at all. So you have been busy with California Jedi.
Yes.
As it per usual. It's not even like news or an update. So, but projects. Is there a specific project that you're kind of working on now that you would just like to be like, I'm working on this project?
In regards to California Jedi?
Whatever. Keep it Jedi related. How about that? Let's put it in that box.
So I've got several Jedi projects going on right now. I'm hosting the California Gathering in April 2016, which is rapidly approaching. We are fully booked or almost fully booked. I think maybe there are a couple spots. So if you live in California or are interested in coming, you can totally register. It's going to be great. But yeah, so there's that to plan, which a lot of that stuff is not imminent, but becoming imminent. So there's a lot of things to figure out on that end. What else am I doing? I'm running the California Jedi Spartan race with you and Christopher and Dan now, which is a thing I recently got talked into, and I'm actually pretty excited about. I just started training for that.
That's never get talked into those things.
I've never done it, but I love obstacle races. I've always loved obstacle races. So watched a bunch of videos and I was like, okay, I think I am actually capable of this thing. The longer ones I'm not so sure about. But the Spartan sprint, I'm like, okay, with some work I can do this. And it's great. So we've raised a lot of money for that thing already. And my workplace may or may not be interested in donating as well.
What?
Yeah, so I'm excited about not only the actual thing, because I think it's going to be fun, but I'm excited that we can raise a good chunk of money. It's a really good organization.
How we raised
Joyful
money?
Heart Foundation. Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing raised about $400 so far.
That's all right. That's not, it's not even to our first tier of challenges yet, though.
But we have till January, and I have a couple people that have already told me they're going to donate. They just haven't clicked the button yet. So, no, but I feel like it's going well. I'm excited about that. Let's see. I'm trying to get California Jedi's website moving forward again at a faster pace. been slowly trying to collect articles for alternate non-California viewpoints to slowly add to the website. So that's fun. And then on a personal level, I recently took a Padawan, which is exciting. It's my first time doing that, and it's going well, really, really well. And I am probably about to start a couple online classes in logic and rhetoric.
Fancy
I
stuff.
feel like my Jedi skills lie in a diplomacy kind of direction. So I want more tools for that thing.
That is a fair way to go about it.
Yeah. So MIT has a lot of really amazing, they just have like open courseware, you know, like a class will have been taught and they'll just put all of the materials, the lesson plans, the syllabus, the readings online. So people can sort of do the class in a light way themselves. So that's where I'm doing that. I'm really stoked about it.
Oh, that sounds
So
like
yeah,
fun.
I think that's all my Jedi projects at the moment.
I think most
not
Jedi would consider that enough. I think that's more than enough, actually. That's more than I could ever
it's
put
been
up with.
It's been a little bit hectic, but things sort of fit well. So, and it's all fun, you know. Jedi training has to be fun for me. I mean, obviously you have to do things that you don't like sometimes, you know. And discipline is important, but if you don't find joy in the Jedi path, why are you doing it? You know, what's the point?
Yeah, fair point. I think it's a good question for most things in life, right?
Yeah.
Understanding the why of what you do, and if you're not having fun, if you find no joy in it, then you really need to dig into that question of why am I doing this thing?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I mean, like there's you know all sorts of unfun things that people have to do in life. You know, I have to pay my bills, I have to clean my house, I have to get up at 6:30 now to go work out for the Spartan sprint. You know, none of those things are in themselves fun, but they're things that are moving me towards things that I'm excited about and that I want for myself. And you know, so it's, you know, I might grumble getting out of bed, but I still get out of bed because I want to be there, you know?
Yeah. I
don't know how people motivate themselves other ways, frankly, but that's the way my own brain works. I gotta care to get motivated.
That is a fair stance to have. I think I think most people could relate to that one. So you have a special visitor, special guest, right? Did I see that right?
Special
I did
guest.
see that. Yeah, there's a cat behind you. Special guest.
Oh, yep. This is one of my cats. Her name is Mara.
And
she's not
a special guest type, not a spotlight person. That's fair. I can relate. So cool.
They always
projects.
do this every time I'm on video chat. They like hover.
they like to just be around the edges, kind of get discovered.
Yep.
Fair.
They want the fame and the glory.
It's fair.
Not
Jedi
totally,
cats, then.
No, not Jedi cats at all.
So good projects. So we'll have links to those things. Like I'll put up links in the section below for California Jedi, for the charity event fundraiser. As you said, and I think I might have talked over you, it's the Joyful Heart Foundation. It's a really good foundation. For those of you who are not aware, you can go and check it out. They have a website and everything, joyfulheartfoundation.org, I believe. Again, links will be here, so don't take my word for it.
That if we raise, I think the first level where this kicks in is $1,000. We're only $600 away. That's not them. It's that much. We will have to run it in Jedi costumes. So you guys want to see Jedi doing mud-covered obstacle courses? You should totally pitch in. It's going to be great.
Yeah. All donations are accepted. We'll have the link directly to that challenge and everything where it shows the levels. If we raise a certain amount, we have to wear certain things. The full amount, we have to go full Jedi with the robes and everything. So yeah, it's fun. We did it. There's also one that's connected to it. We did it before last year, and we have some of those pictures up. So so those are great. So we'll have the links for that, and you can check that out and make us go run in the mud in heavy Jedi clothes. Excellent.
So I really we raise that much, but also the idea of doing it with the big brown robe sounds terrifying. But you guys should make us do that thing anyway.
Yes, because it is terrifying. It's the hardest obstacle that you'll face with that one. And this is for anybody who would like to do them, right? Join a Spartan race, sprint, or Battle Frog, or whatever, like the Tough Mudders. It's really long. Tough Mudder's really long, so don't do it unless you're really in shape. But
although Tough Mudder lets you skip obstacles without penalty, which Spartan race does not. There are penalties to skipping those things.
Yeah. Yes, there is.
Okay.
But the toughest one will be with the robes is the rope climb. And the reason for that is because in order to get to the rope, you have to go into about 4 foot of muddy water before you can even begin the rope climb. Yeah. So you're like waist.
That's like up to my chest.
Yeah. You will. Yeah. Your robes will be soaked in muddy water as you try to climb up a rope.
Well, for a woman, but I'm not a hugely tall person. That's a lot of water. That'll be fun. At least I know how to do the rope climb. That was a thing I was really good at in gym as a kid, although I am more sizable than the last time I did that thing.
Yeah, I used to actually be really good at it, but it's it'll be fun. It'll be fun. It's good times. And anybody who's I know there's another Jedi who's getting involved with Spartan races, so viewers, checking them out, man. They're fun. Jedi, I call it Dagobah training. They're fun.
Yeah, it really is.
So Katie, so you got all those projects, and again, we'll get the links to them. Oh, right. There's so I seem like, okay, so I make these things up as I go because yay. Mostly because I just horrible with preparation and scripts and stuff like that. I'm too lazy to do all that stuff. But I've
just
you cut out for me.
Oh, no worries. I was just saying it's a casual chat. It's just coffee with a Jedi.
It's true. But I have developed certain questions that tend to get asked. So I'll throw one out to you. Oh, and by the way, speaking of questions that are asked, if you're watching and you have the Q&A app, feel free to use it at any time, or YouTube comments or Facebook or blah blah blibbity bleep. Okay, great. So if you have questions for her, ask them at any time, and we'll get to those. My question for you, Katie, is the community is diverse and as big as it is. Obviously, there's good points about it. For you, what are some of the things that the community has really, that you find positive with being involved with the community, and that you have found to be of benefit? Like that you got involved with the community and you're like, man, I wouldn't have these things, or this is what the community did for me, or something of that nature.
Yeah, the reason that I am involved with the community, and that I always will, I think, on one level or another, is the support it gives. Being a Jedi's off the beaten path, as it were. and it's a very self-motivated path. You're the only person keeping yourself to, your Jedi standards. And that can be lonely, I think, to do it by yourself. It might be important and you might be great at that thing, but having people who are doing this too, and see how they're doing and have them be invested in how and and not only to get support from them, but to get alternate viewpoints from them, it really makes the path feel like community. The community really gives a sense of community. You get so much support, so many different ideas that you wouldn't have thought of before. Like often the big turning points in my path are something will happen in the community that's great, or somebody will say like, oh, that's a really great viewpoint, but did you consider this thing? And often the answer is, oh my gosh, no, I did not consider that thing. So in a way, there's only so much on the path you can do by yourself, I think. My path is, and I'm the person responsible for it, but it would be much less deeply grounded and rich without the community.
Excellent thoughts. I would agree with you, as I think most people who get involved with the community and stick with it for any significant amount of time, I think would agree. And I think that might actually be a consensus. I don't know. I don't actually watch these shows. I just do them. I just show up, drink coffee. So on the flip side of that, what do you feel the community could improve upon, or kind of maybe like, or a negative of the community if there is one? Yeah.
I mean, there are a bunch of things with any group. There's always things to improve upon. Groups are made of human beings, and human beings are complicated and flawed. So there's definitely stuff to work on, especially in the Jedi community, because we are still largely a community based online, and that is rife with its own particular problems. If I had to pick a thing, though, I would love it if the first thing people saw when they joined community was more of the good things about the community. Like there are 80 gajillion Facebook pages, and often that's the first thing that people see if they're searching Jediism or Jedi realism or whatever term that they shoved into Google. And there's good stuff there. People are having good discussion, and there's so many good people in the community, but there are a lot of people who haven't walked the path for very much time, or don't really know what direction they're going. And that's all fine on an individual level, but when those are all of the people talking and asking questions simultaneously, it feels a little bit like people feeling around in the dark. And I think it's not often a great first impression. And I think that there are probably people that are put off by that first impression, that would have been great Jedi, and maybe they'll find their way back, but doesn't, I think that's not a great way to start. Like when I first started the Jedi path, I saw Revenge of the Sith. I got really excited about the concept, and I had a friend actually in high school that was a Jedi realist. I think she was at Jedi Realist Academy. Actually, we never interacted online, hilariously, so I have no idea what her Jedi name was. And we don't talk very much now, so I have no idea. But she pointed at me at a couple sites. So my first interaction with the Jedi Academy was with the Jedi community was at Force Academy, which definitely is a little bit insane, but my first interaction was with a bunch of people intensely and seriously debating things that mattered to them. Introduction to the Jedi community. you know, of what it meant to people wrestling with their problems of what does it mean to be a Jedi and how do I do that successfully. Whereas with the sort of Facebook is a horrific medium for discussion. You know, I think a lot of discussions that could be great sort of die in their infancy because of Facebook as a medium. So when people show up to Facebook, they're looking for people who can talk to them and give them some answers. And so they post on a group, and they sort of get a cacophony of answers of lots of other people who are new and also are looking for answers. And sometimes good stuff comes out of that, but I think more often than not, it ends up sort of chaotically. So I don't really know exactly how we fix that thing, because I think a lot of it has to do with the medium. I wish that we had a kind of so that to catch and show, like, point them at the basics before they delve into the tangled web that is often the Jedi community.
Which is kind of what you're doing with California Jedi, right? I mean, you have the Facebook and you have the website and kind of from what I see on the California Jedi website is that, you know, it has kind of these articles where people can then ask questions, but it's much more structured.
I mean, it seems really that forums are not something that people want to participate in anymore. It's just the nature of the community and the way that people communicate online is changing, which is fine. So, and there are a lot of forums and a lot of venues for discussion still. So if people aren't using those, I didn't want to create another site with a forum. The thing that I saw that was lacking was basically just stuff to read. You know, and a lot of people have had the Great Jedi Holocron of years past, Jedi Compass. Like, lots of people have put together compilations of Jedi essays because, you know, Jedi write a lot of stuff. You know, if you've ever done any course of training at any of the online academies, you've written, you know, pages and pages of material. So California Jedi was really sort of an idea to have not only represent California voices, since the, you know, biggest and loudest groups have been more in the middle of the country, of the U.S. anyway, but to sort of have that viewpoint be more represented, but also just to create a repository of stuff Jedi think and say and do. You know, stuff for people who are, you know, new to the path or interested in other opinions to be able to sit down and read. We have so much stuff on the site now. I was looking at it today. We have 45 separate posts, and a couple of those are announcements and things like that, but most of them are articles, you know, written by practicing Jedi. You know, I mean, you have to, like, if you wanted to read all of the things, you'd have to hit next on the website 13 times. So I'm pretty stoked about that. I think we have we have a big chunk of awesome material for people to read. If, you know, if they're just looking to add to their training, sort of a way of experiencing that community in a quieter way.
Right. Something I endorse, by the way. Personal preference. But yeah, good stuff. Excellent stuff. Is there anything that you would like to offer up to the Jedi community in general, or to people watching, just kind of, I don't know, a lesson, a tidbit, a rambling, you know, any sort of Jedi-ness that you would like to share with the viewers that may catch this video?
That is an open-ended question.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it is. It's less work for me that way.
Let me think. There's, I guess, something that I've been thinking a lot about recently is which I mean, entertainingly, you posted your Jedi diplomacy article on Jedi Living and California Jedi recently, and it covered something that I've been doing a lot of thinking about as well. Of when we communicate, we overlay our own assessments of what people are saying onto their words, and you know, often that's based on information. It's their tone or how they're saying the material. And I'm a big proponent of being responsible for the words that come out of your mouth. You know, you might say something and maybe you didn't mean it a certain way, but if people got that from what you said, you are to a certain extent responsible for that dissemination of information, you know? But at the same time, as Jedi, we are capable of listening past that noise, you know? I mean, maybe somebody's had a rough day or has said something weirdly, or maybe you've got history with people, you know, you're worried about their motives or the way that you've interacted in the past. And being able to take a step back, you know, think there is no emotion, there is peace, and not have that, you know, sort of heads up display of all of your emotional history and baggage with a person. And just listen to what they are trying to say to you, and take that level of information and interact with that. I think that's something that we all need to work on as human beings, let alone Jedi. You know, of basically giving people benefit of the doubt. You know, maybe somebody is being mean or trying to get your goat, but if we give people benefit of the doubt, if we trust that they're not being that way, that they're trying to communicate with us in good faith, you know, to not be, this isn't to say trust everybody, don't be ever suspicious. That's not at all what I'm trying to say, but you know, giving other Jedi the benefit of the doubt that what they're trying to do is positive and good, even if you end up disagreeing, I think really lends to better, more productive discussions, where we can move forward more as a community. You know, if we trust each other more to have the community's best interests at heart. So even when we disagree, it's you know, it's a matter of details, not a matter of deep opinion.
Yeah, it's definitely something. Well, obviously, something that I like, just because it also offers up in a teaching tool sort of way. If you work past that and kind of address it, as you say, address what's trying to be said, or trying to address the information, address the message itself, you can then, once it's moved past and you discover, yeah, that tone wasn't meant, or, you know, that indication wasn't, then you can go back and be like, just to, you know, help you out with that. That was delivered in a hostile way, or that was said with words that probably weren't appropriate. I got your message. We've already.
Yeah, even taking it to the level of, I always find that the best way to like talk to people about the way that they're communicating is to talk about your feelings. You know, if I say, Opie, the thing that you just said made me feel sad, you can't argue with that. You can't tell me, no, Katie, it didn't make you feel sad, you know. You know, but talking about its effect on you, or the way that you understood it, and focusing on that bit. Because if you tell people, like, stop being hostile, or, you know, like, hey, that thing you said was really terrible, you know, people get defensive, you know, and in an ideal world, people don't. People are able to do the same thing and read into what you were trying to say, but, you know, but the goal is to be as calm and concise as possible. There's a great book by Pema Chodron called Practicing Peace in Times of War. It's really little cheap book, but it's a really great Jedi training tool, I think, because she talks about that moment where we let ourselves have an emotional, out of control reaction to something. It can just be little, you know. a fly buzzes past you and the noise is irritating. And instead of being like, that's a thing that happened and it's done and moving on, you have a little like reaction, and then that reaction gets piled on something else that happens next because you're already irritated, but there's a moment, if you watch you're going to sort of watch your own emotions from a distance in a weird way of, somebody says something that frustrates you or makes you angry, or was upsetting, and you have a moment where you can feel the emotion coming. You like, and it's like an itch almost, and it's really difficult to not scratch. Somebody says something that drives you crazy and you just want to be driven crazy by it. But taking the time to train yourself to notice that moment where you're on the edge between however you were feeling before and how you want to feel in response to whatever input you just received, that you can sit with your discomfort, which is not a thing we're very good at in America, especially, I think. We're all about instant gratification in a weird way. And in a weird way, getting mad is instant gratification. It's something was said that I disagree with. It feels good to be angry about it. It feels good to be upset about it. It feels good to pout or stew about it. And there might be perfectly good reasons that it's not that your emotions are invalid, but you might have perfectly good reasons to feel that way, but it is a choice to react to that emotion, and I think that's an important thing in our Jedi training, is to learn to sit with that discomfort and decide whether we are going to act on our emotions.
Indeed. Good stuff, Katie. Look at you being all Jedi mentor up
or something
on this show. Shame on you. You are changing the quality of this product, and I am for shame.
I'll reel it back in. Excuse me.
Right. Don't raise the bar here, please. Okay. You get to go back to your 500 things that you're doing, Jedi projects on. I still have to continue this. Okay. So don't raise the bar. Okay. Then I would actually have to like put together actual questions and actually think about who I'm interviewing next and all that weird stuff. And that's just not going to work. Okay.
1,000 apologies.
Accepted. No dying on my show either, by the way.
Inhaled my coffee substitute.
Coffee substitute. I like that. That's my second favorite next to Jedi adjacent. That's my...
I do enjoy that term. It's really effective.
Yeah. It's a good one. I like it.
Yeah.
So what else, Katie? Hit me with something else, because I'm not working here. I'm broken.
That's
today.
fine.
Killing me. This is dead air, Katie. This is dead air.
I know.
This doesn't work.
I know. I feel bad about it. Like what?
I don't know. I don't know. We could always sign off, I suppose.
I suppose we could do.
And I could just throw popcorn at you off air or something. Or marshmallows. Everybody likes marshmallows, I think.
No, I don't know. I do have a lot of projects going on. They're all good things, but I don't know. I also need to. It's been a little crazy, so I'm also trying to focus on the social aspect of me time.
It's important. It's important.
Yeah, it is really important. So, but it looks like things are finally slowing down a little bit, so that's good.
It is good. Yeah, I've been actually clearing out Jedi projects. I've been shoveling them out. Yeah, getting rid of them.
Do we know when the documentary's coming out? That's the thing I keep wanting to ask Laurent, but I also don't want to harass him about it. But I kind of want to harass him about it.
The last time, see, don't talk to Laurent, man. Laurent is as bad as me. Okay, that's not the guy you want to talk to about
in the sense that you're both squirrely and distractible?
I was gonna go with we really just kind of go with the flow and don't really know what's going on. So, no, Lauren's part is basically done, right? So I talked with the editor and the guy who's kind of getting all the post-production stuff done, and he gave me the time frame of he wants it out by in November. So
that's exciting.
There's no date, but he would like to see October 31st, kind of release. That's what he would like to see. And as the editor and the guy who actually, has to get everything in order, he's a little less squirrely on his dates. So
that's good. What's it? Well, you should tell Laurent that he should clearly do the release in Berkeley, because I have no extra days off that I'm allowed to take this year. But I really want to see that thing.
I'm sure he would. He is definitely a fan of Berkeley. So
Berkeley is great.
That's certainly possible. It's certainly possible. I know
the rest of his awesome coffee shop recommendations, because he's 1 for 1 so far.
That's a great record to have.
Any place that will make me an iced coffee with mint in it. Delicious.
Be careful though. Laurent has crazy ideas. He's trying to rope in Chicago and California Jedi into going to Burning Man next year and having a Jedi camp out there. That's his new idea and project that he wants to do.
How long is Burning Man? It's like a week, right?
Yeah, something like that.
So like I have interest in that thing, mostly for the art. But I like desert camping. But a week is a long time to be camped in the desert.
It is. And there's a lot of they still have their leave no trace policy, which is difficult because that means collecting your shower water as well and all that. So it's it's an ordeal. It's,
I mean, honestly, when you go desert camping, you don't really like. If you go camping in the desert for a week, you give up on your usual standards of hygiene. Like, there's some cleaning that needs to be done for like health purposes, but you're gonna be gross. That's kind of just how that goes.
Yeah. He's pushing for it. So yeah, careful with your Laurent suggestions, because he's already got other plans in the works for the Jedi. So, but yeah, to the viewers, American Jedi, definitely before December. That's the American Jedi is the documentary on real life Jedi and kind of their journey, and it documents kind of like the hero's journey undertaken in our community. So you can follow people kind of going for knighthood and stuff. So, we'll probably have an episode on that or something, or a video.
That'd probably be good.
Video. So I'm
sure Laurent would be happy to do that thing. But yeah, no, I've seen like tiny snippets of it over Laurent's shoulder once or twice, but I haven't seen very much of it. But I don't know. I trust Laurent. I think it's going to be great, actually.
Yeah, editor's good guy too. And I've watched some of it. Like I was watching the editor get, his work done, and putting the music, together, and with the scenes and stuff like that, and whole new animal, right? It was looking really good. Looking like
awesome.
Looks like they are professionals and they know what they're doing.
That's awesome.
But yeah, and they are professionals, by the way, for those watching. Yeah. They actually know what they're doing. I just like messing with them.
The Bronies documentary, which is on Netflix, which is very interesting, actually.
Yes, it is. And so if you have Netflix, go check it out. Check out his work. Laurent The Brony documentary. I think they have a second one too. That either came out or.
I think so. I haven't watched that one, but I watched the first one and I enjoyed it. So I watched it before Laurent came to interview me because I wanted to, you know, I mean, the Jedi community's had lots of interesting experiences with media representation. So I mostly was just you know, I wanted to know whether he was serious about actually being interested or not. And the Bronies documentary was done in a really interesting and respectful way. So, you know, he really just wanted to portray their fandom and what it's like and why it's important to them. So I am excited about the American Jedi documentary.
Yeah, should be good stuff. Stuff. We will find out. And yes, and you can subscribe to this channel and stay tuned for updates. Or you can go to California Jedi and like their page and follow their page and get updates.
Indeed.
Or Jedi Living. Or whatever.
Or like the 8 other sites that are probably going to be linked in the description.
Yeah. That's about right. All right, so I think that's a wrap, Katie.
Sweet, sounds good.
I think we're good with all our random talking about stuff and everything. Thank you for coming on, by the way.
Yeah, no problem. I'm happy to do so. Always willing to shoot the shit with you, Uppy.
I appreciate it.